Good morning.
Okay, guys, we'll do questions for Spanish media, you guys, at the end of the open section, and we'll run the embargo. I'll make it clear when the embargo is, which is for 10:30 this evening.
Okay.
We'll start with Sky.
Pep, good afternoon. Charles Patterson from Sky. Can I start by asking you about the situation with Joe Hart? Since we heard from you on Tuesday night, the story appears to have moved on a bit. We understand that he's expressed his desire to leave the club. Has he spoken to you about this?
No.
Would you be open to offers for him?
I have some information about that. So I spoke with Joe from the first moment we met in China, and I tried to be clear with my players. I was so clear with him. So I have a lot of respect about him, like a person, of course, like a goalkeeper. I know his values. I know his talent. And I was clear what are you looking for. And I am here. Manchester City contact to me to try to play the way I like, the way I grew up from 13 years old, 14 years old, and I am here to try to convince the players. So until 31 of this month, everything is open, and the people is coming, the people is leaving in September, and we'll know exactly in which people we're going to live together, to fight together, to enjoy together, to discuss together, to all the situations going to happen during the season. And if Joe will stay here, it will be a player is going to fight with another goalkeepers to convince me to play. It's simple like that. So he knows from the beginning what I feel, what is the situation, and after that, of course, I know. Maybe stay, maybe is leaving. The same cases for another players, and that is what it is. So I spoke the same in my first press conference, the second one, now the third one. So it's nothing changed. If you want to continue to talk about that, I can do that, but it's nothing changed. At the end, I am here to decide before the games. Now I have to be cool as possible to decide the 11 players going to play in Sunderland, play in Bucharest, and now tomorrow in Stoke City. But the way we're going to help the players, to treat the players, is the same from the first one, for the last one, for the young player in the academy. So I organized a training session with 29, 30 players. And I trained the same with all of them. Maybe I spent 2 hours in the training grass because we're training with one group, I train with all of them. I have a lot of respect of the career for the players and for me. They are with us, they are with me. I treat them like the professionals, and tomorrow is going to play. They are not out in the group, not him, not Sammy, not Yaya, not Bonnie, not Fernandinho, not Aleix, not Angelino, not Tosi, not anyone. Anyone is the same. When I prepare the training session, I try to take care the same one from the other one. But right at the moment, I have to make the list to go to Stoke City. I have to make the list, the 11 players, and I have to not choose 11 players and 18 players.
If he came to you and spoke to you and said he wanted to leave, would you be open to letting him move on loan?
Of course. I want the happiness for the players, so I don't want the players to stay here with this. They don't want to stay. All the players that are here have a contract. If he decides they want to stay, they're going to stay. But they know the situation where they spoke with them. The situation, or they know I spoke individually and I called the club with their managers. So the situation, they know exactly what it is. I don't know the players where they are not happy here, stay for they want to stay. So they decide to future because they have a contract. If they want to stay, stay. We will fight together, the best achieve. And they want to leave because they prefer to play every game, but not speaking about the Joe, speaking all the players, the club, the squad. So I want to leave, I want to work, I want to stay with the players, I want to stay. That is no doubt about that.
One final one from me on Joe Hart. Can he do any more as an individual to make him your number one compared to what he's doing at the moment?
I said to him in the first morning, So if he stays, he's going to improve, and he's going to understand what we want, or what we want from our goalkeeper. I met a lot of players in the beginning had their problems. I'm not talking about the goalkeepers. So they had the problems at the beginning, and after 2 months, 3 months, half a year, 1 year, it became one of the best players in that position. So that can happen. But when Willie played us 2 games, but right now, in that situation, is better today. But doesn't it mean it's going to happen in the future? They have to decide if they want to stay or they want to leave. And you stay here, I want to help him. And after every week, I'm going to decide. I give an example. So I met Abidal, it's left back from Barcelona. And in the beginning, the way we played, they had the problems. And at the end, he became the best left central defender in Europe, in my opinion. Fast, intelligent, strong in the air. In the build-up, it was a masterclass. But it took time. In the beginning, it was not the best what we're demanding. Because the demanding was central defender, goalkeeper. They have to play. They don't have only not defend. They have to defend and they have to play. And the goalkeeper, the first I'm looking for is safe. is keep the ball. For me, it's the most important thing. But after, he has to play with the ball. He has to help us to create a good build-up. That's why I'm here. So, and in the future, of course, he can do that. But now in that moment, because it was in the old pre-season, and it was 2-3 more weeks than Joe, because it was in holidays after European Cup, and because I saw so many things, in that games, I decided to play with Willie. But doesn't it mean that Willie is going to play all the season? It doesn't mean that Joe is not going to play. And that, when I informed you that, I explained with Joe in China. So I try to be clear with my players. It's not because I know the quality for Joe. I have a lot of respect because it was part of the board. It's not an easy decision for me to say, now you don't play, you play Willie. But it was clear what we're looking for to help us, we are not in academy where you have time. Here you have time, but not too much. We won 0-5 in Bucharest. I said, we're good, perfect. But before, you never know what's going to happen. We were not in Champions League. We are almost in Champions League. But 2 days ago, we are not in Champions League. And maybe the draw we play against, in Porto, against Monaco, against big teams in Europe. So now, in the big teams, you don't give me time to create something, or the people don't have passion in that level. The people have results now, immediately. And of course we can do that with Joe, of course. I'm not judging. I don't know about, you have Xavi, Manchester, and the people have to judge about the quality of the players. And I know the quality of Joe. Have a lot of respect. But in that moment, what I'm looking for something in the beginning, so in that moment I decide for Willie. That's all.
One final question from me. Tomorrow you play Stoke City. Mark Hughes, we spoke to him this morning. He says he does not remember you.
I remember
he was at
him.
Barcelona. And you were, I think, in the youth team.
Do
you remember him? What do you remember of him?
I was a ball boy in that area. Yeah, believe me, I was a ball boy. I was 30 years old. I was there and see Venables, and Mark Hughes, and all these kind of people. It was a short time. I remember more when playing Manchester United, and they beat us in Europa League now, before the Cup, Winners' Cup, that's true. And I remember him.
Pep, can I ask you about Kelechi Iheanacho? He's signed a new contract. How big a future do you believe he's got here at the club?
Speak about the future when, the future in football is at 31. Everything can happen and moving, and maybe next season we will not be there. But when we decide, or the club, Chiqui, decide to extend the contract for Gael or Iheanacho, because we trust on them. And Kelechi is a young player, he's a very nice guy. His intensity is higher compared to the beginning of the first week, for example. And guys, when the ball is in the box, he's there. So in our second goal against Sunderland, the cross from Jesus Navas in the first post was Kelechi. And that creates the space for the second half for other people, especially for Delph or in that case for the opponent. So he's there. He has something special in the box. So big congrats for Manchester City for extending, of course, his contract. And of course, Sergio is not going to play all the season every game. So we need all the players, and of course, Kelechi is going to play.
When people talk about some of the toughest environments to play in English football, they often mention Stoke, the environment that's there. Tomorrow there is forecast heavy rain, wind as well. How much are you looking forward to testing your principles in that sort of environment?
Yeah, all the managers try to control as much as possible about his team, but about the weather we cannot control it. So sorry. So we're going to play with the conditions there, and we want to win the titles or fight for the titles. You have to adapt. So I don't like to complain. I don't like to have a players who complain we lost because the pitch was not good or the windy. Or we have to adapt. It's one ball, 11 against 11. And you have to adjust. About that, tomorrow I'm going to live for my first time in my life in Stoke City. And let's go. We're going to see.
Is this part of the journey for you as well, to test yourself in these sort of places?
Yeah. But in Germany, not always playing in sunny days. So in Germany as well, you play in a not good condition. In winter time, is tough as well. And when you go in Spain, in Pamplona, in Bilbao, in San Sebastian, in the winter time, always the conditions are tough. So I think it's not okay. We're going to play in that conditions, and that's all.
Last week, you surprised a lot of people with the way that you used your fullbacks. Is that something that you will use all the time, or do you devise different tactics for each game and each opponent?
Yeah. Which one? Yeah, good question. Which one? Yeah, no. Now I think it's not time to change a lot, because maybe I will confuse my players. But they are. What I really impressed the most is how intelligent they are, because I never experienced in my life in a short time together. Not about the 5-0, but the Steaua Bucharest, the way we played in Bucharest. So it's high level. So in most of the sense. So to play in that way, we need more time, and we did it quickly. And when that's happened, it's for the quality of the intelligence for the players they have. Not about with training or what about what I explained to the players. So the players, they move, it depends of the movement of his teammates, really good, and that is not easy to do that. So when I play is outside, they are inside, the other outside. When I go behind the line, the other come here. So when that's happened, the most important thing, because they are so intelligent. But now I decide to move, but not all the time they play inside. Most of the play attack outside. So it depends. It depends of the movement, on the opponents. It depends on many things. They play inside.
When you come up with a decision like that, do you work out in your mind how you would stop it? So you would know how to stop it if somebody did it to you?
The opponent?
When you have a tactic like that,
yeah.
Do you think about how you would stop that from happening if someone did it to you?
Yeah. The beautiful in football I'm here is about that. So I'm here my relation with my teammates, especially about what they do, what can we do to beat them. And of course, I think the other managers see us and said, oh, what can we do to beat Manchester City? But when they change the tricky to control our game, about 70% the possession in against Sunderland and a lot, and with just 12 or 13 chances against Sunderland, not too much, but 24, 25 in Champions League, it's much more. Now to have to find another way to find a way, to beat them. So what is what I like. So is to imagine what tomorrow Stoke City is going to do about the quality of Shaqiri, Bojan, Arnautovic. Joselu and Diouf, and how they made the build-up. Before they play always long ball with Crouch, now they're trying to make most build-up. We have to do that to control them. How is the way you're going to press? Our used to high pressing with number 10 or the wingers, who will be our free men to attack the second line and make that process step by step to arrive in the last part of the box for the opponent, to be together, to make the transition when we lose the ball, to control their counterattacks. So that is what it is. That is why I like to be coach.
Pep, you mentioned there Bojan and Shaqiri. These are players you know well. You've managed them. Have you been impressed with the way that they've adapted to the Premier League?
Yeah, and I like it. They are settled good, and Bojan play a striker number 10 and suit perfect for him. And Shaqiri has a quality so to go to winger, to go inside, or can play in number 10 in the set pieces, and close of the box is so dangerous player because he's a good talent.
Can you just tell us the progress that Vincent Kompany's making at the moment? Is he ready, or how far away is he?
Yeah, we need a 1 or 2 more blood tests about his muscle, how it is. But he's already training part of the training sessions. Not aggressive, not full contact, but yes, with the ball, with the pushing game, with boxes, with movement patterns. This kind of actions, he is there, and I think he is in the last part of the. I think I'm waiting. Our doctor said he's ready, and after there he start, because I'm pretty sure when he will be fit, he will be ready and to avoid injury again. He will help us a lot this season, because I know when he's fit how good it is.
Just finally, Yaya Toure, will he feature in your squad tomorrow?
Yaya until 31 is here. I know he's trying. So he loves football, Yaya. He loves football a lot. And I spoke with him about his situation. And he loves to play football. He's a player with a huge quality. And I am very glad because his manager spoke and said I am a good coach. So I am so glad about that. Thank you, Dimitri. But about Yaya, I have a lot of respect. I have a good relation, and I know when he is going to increase a little bit his intensity without the ball, he will be part of a group if he want to stay.
Pep, how is Leroy Sana progressing? And
Today he made the first training session with us. Part of the first training session, he was a little bit, few problems muscular, so that is the first step. So. But I think in that this 1 week, 2 weeks, when we come back for the national break, he will be ready to help us.
And are there any other injury concerns this week at all?
With him?
Are there any other injuries in the squad?
No. But Bakary has a little problem. A little problem, but it's not too big.
And
that's why he didn't play in Bucharest. But I don't know if he's already solved. And we don't want to take a risk. Because after, of course, we're so important in the game, the Champions League and West Ham. But we come back, we're going to start to play the Premier League in Europe, and that's why we need all the people.
I know when he first signed Ilkay Gündoğan said that he hoped he might be fit for the Manchester derby. How's he progressing? Is he...
Ilkay?
Yeah. Is he
it's like Leroy Sané today had made the first training sessions with the group. So after we have to be his conditions during 2 weeks. So. But it's a good news because he's a good player.
Hi Pep. You've had John Stones for more or less 2 weeks now. How important is he to what you're trying to do here at City?
Stones?
Yes.
I play good 2 games.
How important is he to what you're
yeah.
trying to do?
He's a young player, so sometimes your players to play good, they have a little bit scared, have a little bit afraid to speak good about the young players because maybe they're going to become confused. With Fernandinho, it's not a problem about that because he's so stable, with David Silva, for example. But I think John played amazing these 2 games. The last game in Bucharest playing left side is a little bit more complicated for him because it's right foot, but play good. And our build-up in the last 2 games was really, really good because John helped us a lot on that. That's why we tried to buy him. So I believe I am obsessive about the build-up game. So because I believe, from my experience, like a football player, like a coach, when you make a good build-up from the goalkeepers, central defenders, fullbacks, midfield players, the other come alone. The other come alone, come fluently, come free. When the ball don't comes for the build-up, don't go out in the good way a little bit, the pass is not good, in the right foot, and after the opening come earlier, in our process is more complicated. That's why we train a lot in the preseason, today as well, so about our build-up. When that's happened, and we create a good 8 against 6, 7 against 6 in the first part of the game, after come much better, you create more and more chances for our strikers and wingers and attacking midfielders.
Okay, guys, we do some two, 3 questions in Spanish. You can just wait for the translation when Pep's finished the answer, please.
Bona tarda, Pep. Parlaves a la prèvia de que volies veure informació de decisions en temps real dels jugadors, sobretot en situacions de partit, i m'agradaria saber fins a quin punt el partit del Sunderland i el de l'Esteaua, que van ser completament diferents, t'han donat un input de molta informació de cara al partit de l'Esteaua.
No. T'ho deixes després? Els hi vaig dir als jugadors a la mitja part que el que més em va agradar a la mitja part, que després de fallar un penal o 2 penals, l'equip va estar estable. Era una final per nosaltres, és una final encara, era una final, és la temporada canviava tot estant a Champions League o no sé ni. I malgrat vam fallar 1 o 2 penals, l'equip va estar estable. Des del penal no vam veure un baixón. Ens va costar potser 3 minuts de la primera part i 4 minuts de la segona. No hi va haver res més. Amb això estic molt content, però només hem jugat 2 partits. I també, després de l'1-1, el Sunderland tampoc vam perdre el cap. Vam fer un canvi tàctic, vam passar a defensa de 3 els últims minuts al Sunderland i vam atacar i vam fer-ho. I això és, al final la tàctica és molt important, però això és probablement més important. Però, insisteixo, van ser 2 partits.
The question was, what info did you get about the first 2 games against Sunderland and Steaua Bucharest? Regarding the match in Bucharest, I told my players in the halftime that the best that they've done is after missing the penalty, they were keeping stable, they were playing stable. So in the end, it was a final for us to be in the Champions League round phase. And even we missed 2 penalties in the first half, the team stayed stable. So I'm very happy for that. But again, there's just 2 games, so we can't say much. And against Sunderland again last Saturday, after the draw, the first goal of Sunderland, our team or my team didn't lose the head, and we keep playing well till we win.
Hola Pep, té alguna dificultat afegida implementar una bona sortida des de pilota a la Premier o similar a Bundesliga i Lliga és mateix?
Mateixes dimensions, una pilota per tots. Les dimensions es fan petites quan els moviments els fem petits. És a dir, si els centrals no van a línia de fons, aleshores és més difícil. Si els centrals van a línia de fons, l'espai és el mateix. Juguem 11 contra 11. Aquí no juguen 13 contra 13 a Anglaterra, ni juguen 2 pilotes. Potser el camp és una mica més petit en els camps, però jo vinc de 3a divisió, el meu primer d'allò, i ho vam aconseguir jugar bé de darrere, per tant, es pot fer aquí.
So the question was, is another difficulty playing here from the defensive line, playing the ball from the defensive line is more difficult here than any other places. So he replied that the field or the pitch here is the same size, it's just 1 ball, 11 men. So the size of the pitch is small if you make it smaller, but in the end the space is the same for all of us and we are all the same players, so it's not.
Hola Pep, mi pregunta también es sobre John Stones, porque lo acabas de mencionar un poco, y el primer partido jugó como central diestro con un zurdo, el segundo como central zurdo con un diestro, teniendo en cuenta que los que más han jugado en el City en estos años son 2 centrales diestros, Company y Otamendi en el último año. ¿Has pensado en que lo vas a mantener digamos, central zurdo, o has pensado en alguna posición sobre él, o te da igual?
No, irá jugando en derecha e izquierda, también Otamendi puede jugar en izquierda, Company puede jugar en izquierda. iré viendo cómo se adaptan. Iré viendo.
So the question was about John Stones. He's played the central defender in the first 2 games, one in the right side, another game in the left side. So is he gonna keep playing like in both sides indistinctively? So the answer was yeah, he will play right and left depending on how it goes. Otamendi also can play in both sides, so we will see as we go along.
Okay guys, we'll run the embargo now please for 10:30 this evening.